anyway, I gotta at least smell nice because there's no Díaz and everything. What's up guys, it's Powerdirector Creator here and welcome back to my channel. Now, before we get started, please make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to turn on post notifications so that you guys don't miss any uploads that I do, and I really hope you guys do enjoy this video. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, I know, it's been 2 months since I've done a figure review. And honestly, I have no reason why. I really have no reason why I didn't really do a figure review and why it's been 2 months. But no worries, we're back now. Powerdirector Reviews is back with another figure review. And why not start a little bit easy off, because you know I'm a little rusty here and there. Here we do have the Transformers Rise of the Beast Core Class Exosuit Noah Díaz. Now, I did find this figure before I went to TFCon when it was like a major surprise. I think I found the Bumblebee from Dark of the Moon, and I found Novocaine, the freezer colored variant. I really had no expectations for this figure until I realized that this figure can do so many more things that not a lot of core classes can do. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's review Exosuit Core Class Noah Díaz. Now here we do have Noah Díaz out of his packaging, and you can see that the detail actually looks really freaking cool. I do love the paint job on this guy. That's number one. I do quite like it a lot. Here we do have him looking cool with his little mask thing. Now I know they didn't give me like a human face, but it is what it is. It doesn't really bother me too much. But going down on the figure, you can see the beautiful looking amount of detail that they put in on this core class, and it's honestly really astonishing. I don't know what to say except that I actually love this core class. When it was first shown, I wasn't really like all that sold into it, but let me just say that my mind has changed immediately when I got this figure in hand, because let me just say that this is probably the best core class. I know Shockwave, you know Shockwave, I know, but man, let me just say that this is actually freaking cool. Now I know you guys can see immediately the backpack, and we will talk about that later, but for now, I just love this. I really freaking do. You got some nice silver, nice black, and nice light blue for the helmet there. When I first saw this guy, I actually had no intentions of getting him because honestly, it looked horrible, and I didn't think that this thing would have a special feature of taking off the backpack. Now, once it took out, oh man, it was done. It was over. I'm like, I'm sold. Give me this figure, and let me just say that this figure is probably one of the best articulative core classes we've ever gotten. Now, the accessories he does come with is his blaster. Here, all you do is just take it off like so, and then I will show you how cool it looks up close and personal. It does look freaking cool. Do got that nice little orangish yellow effect going there for the blaster, and even got some nice unpainted, but honestly, it doesn't really bother me because it just looks cool with the silver and the blue. I honestly like that it's unpainted, which I'm surprised about, but yeah, all you simply do is you just see that little peg right there. His hand already comes in a fist, so all you do is just plug that in, and there you go. And his other accessory is the arm blade. Now, the arm blade is already sculpted into it, so there's no way to take it out, but you can see that beautiful looking arm blade there, and I do love that. I really do. But yeah, those two accessories make him look really freaking cool with any pose you do, because man, this figure is really poseable. With his backpack on, of course he is limited of posability, but what you can do is simply just unplug this, and there you go. Now you have him looking even more movie accurate and even more cooler without the backpack. Just taking a closer look at the jet that he does transform into, I do love it. I do like the nice blue. I do like the unpainted. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. All the unpainted stuff really doesn't bother me, but we will talk about that more when we do transform him. And yes, he does transform, which I know he didn't transform in the movie, but it's alright. It's a transformer, so they're gonna have to make it transform. Doesn't bother me, but without the backpack, let me just say that this is freaking awesome. The posability on this guy is freaking fantastic. For a core class, let me just say that this is probably on par with some deluxes, I'm not gonna lie. Now, this figure is a core class, so you gotta remember he's really small. So for some size comparison, here he is to core class Freezer from Transformers Rise of the Beast. That way you can see how they both scale there. And you know what? It's actually not bad. That's how accurate they will scale. And I do love this. I think that they did a fantastic job on this. And they didn't need to give us a Noah Díaz, but they did. And I'm just very happy that they did, because this looks freaking amazing. For my next size comparison, here he is next to the Transformers Rise of the Beast number 102, the very rare figure to find, Optimus Prime. So you can see how they both do scale there. And yeah, you can see that Noah Díaz is very, very, very small. But again, this is how accurate it's supposed to be in the film. I feel like Noah Díaz should be a little bit smaller. But nonetheless, they both do look great. They both do look fantastic. And finally, we can recreate some scenes from Transformers Rise of the Beast that we've been wanting to do. I love this a lot. For my last size comparison, here he is next to the Transformers Rise of the Beast Leader Class Scourge. That way you can see how they both do look there. And yeah, now this looks a little bit more accurate. I do love what they did here. Again, you can recreate some scenes, which is freaking awesome. I do like what they did with this figure. The fact that they are both this good looking. Studio Series, you did a great job with Noah Díaz. Scourge, not so much, but Noah Díaz looks freaking awesome. Now here comes the really fun part that I do love about this figure. When you take off the backpack, he has so much more posability. His head is on a ball joint. He can look up that far and he can look down that far. His arm can move out, bicep swivel. I'm gonna take this off. Bend at the elbow. Sadly, no wrist swivel, but it is what it is. He does have a beautiful waist swivel. Thank you for that. His leg can kick out about that far, and it can go back roughly about that far. He does have a thigh swivel. He does have a knee swivel, bend at the knee, and he does have a pretty decent pivot. There are not enough words for me to explain how surprised I am with this figure, with its posability, and just how much more it can do. The fact that I was able to do some things with this figure that I haven't done with core classes shocks me a lot. They put so much effort and time into this figure, and I thank them for that. Because, again, this is the exosuit that was in Transformers Rise of the Beast, and I did love that. So the fact that they were able to do this, plus give him the amount of range of possibility that he has, thank you. But alrighty guys, I think it's time for us to transform him into his jet mode. Now, I know he didn't transform into his jet mode in the movie, but it's called a Transformer, so they had to do something, and I guess it's the best they could come up with. But it is what it is. So here is his really cool looking alternate mode, I guess. I am actually a little impressed of how simple that was. And I know he doesn't transform into anything, I understand. But just know that it's a Transformer, they had to transform into something, and it's a jet, and it's alright. You know what? It was easy to transform. I know I could have done it on screen, but I'm too lazy for that. So it's not that bad. I actually do like this. I do like this a lot. Taking a closer look here, you can see the beautiful detail that they put in here. You got like the little lines and stuff. And I know this is unpainted plastic, but again, doesn't bother me whatsoever. I think they did a great job. You do got the nice blue there for the jet mode. And then you do got the cannon sticking out there, which is awesome. And then when you turn them underneath, yeah, it's a core class figure. What do you expect? It is what it is. Actually, it doesn't bother me all too much. I'm always going to keep him in his Noah suit. I don't know where I'm going to put the jet. Probably I'll put it on his back again. But for accuracy wise, I'm not going to keep his backpack on. I feel like it weighs him down a lot. But nonetheless, this figure is awesome. And I'm actually really impressed with this guy. I was not expecting this whatsoever. Now, he can fly, of course, you know, when he can also spin very well. Figure, jet mode, never gonna transform him, but there you go. Even though it's like simple and easy for me to do, and it won't even take me like freaking 3 minutes to do. It's alright though, not really gonna transform him. Other than that, it looks pretty cool. If it was just a jet mode by itself, I'd say it looks freaking cool, but the fact that it's no idea, you know, I mean, it actually looks freaking good. And do I recommend? I actually do recommend, if you guys can find a Noah Díaz, pick one up, because let me just say that you will be surprised with it. You will be surprised with it. But alrighty guys, I think it's time for me to transform him back into his exo suit mode, I guess the way you can say, so that way I can get my overall review and my overall grade on this guy. And I think you guys might be surprised, because again, I was surprised myself of how good this figure was. So here's my overall review and my overall grade on Exosuit Noah Díaz. But alrighty guys, there you guys had it. There you had the Transformers Rise of the Beast Core Class Exosuit Noah Díaz. Now what do I think? Again, this figure really surprised me. Again, I really had little to no expectations for this guy, but when I found him in person and when I started playing with him, I had no words whatsoever. The amount of posability that this core class has really shocks me the most. And even the paint looks phenomenal on this core class figure. Now, I know he doesn't really transform into a jet in the movie, but it's a transformer, supposed to transform into something. You don't like the huge backpack, all you simply gotta do is just take it off, and there you guys go. So for all that, I do have to give this figure a solid 9 out of 10 for a core class figure. Yes, a 9 out of 10 for a core class figure is extremely great. Now, I know the king of core classes is Shockwave, but let me just say that this guy is a huge underdog, and I think that this is probably the best core class we've ever gotten. The amount of scenes that you can recreate with this figure is freaking awesome. It really is. To basically almost shot for shot is what I'm trying to say. They didn't need to give us this figure, but they did, and I'm really happy they did. Now, my only gripe with this figure is that I do wish that the arm blade wasn't sculpted in. I wish it was just an accessory. That's my only gripe. That really is. But maybe you can say, oh, the backpack, but I would say the backpack if it wasn't removable. That's the only reason. I do love this figure. I do think you guys should get this figure. And do I highly recommend? I highly recommend to get this figure. Noah Diaz, let's go. Dude, Brooklyn all the freaking way. But alrighty guys, I think that's gonna do it for me. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to turn on post notifications so that way you guys don't miss any uploads that I do. Again, I am so sorry for the 2-month, wait for another figure review. But I'm back, I'm energized, I'm ready to go. And I just hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. So, without further ado, it's been Primus the Creator. Remember to stay calm and keep moving on. So I'll make sure you guys all in the next one till all are one. Bye!